Can you guys just explain what is FXRP then? And then just, we've been kind of talking about it, but let's just like elementary, how does it let XRP holders move their assets to Flare to access the DeFi features that we're going to learn about here for like lending or staking, all without selling their XRP. So whoever wants to take that, you want to go first, Steve, and then we'll go to Whale.
Sure. Yeah. So the very important thing is the thing you just mentioned. Don't need to leave your Zaman wallet. You can do all these in your Zaman wallet. You can do all this from your Ledger. I can do all this from my Bifrost or my MetaMask wallet. Wherever I hold my XRP or my crypto, I can do it right in that wallet, right? So, the very simple process that we have today is we take our XRP and then we mint FXRP, and I'll let Whale get into the specific technical things of that nature. I'm just going to do high level. We mint FXRP, which obviously is the synthetic version that would operate on Flare network. We're able to take that FXRP today, and we're able to use it in different dApps on Flare. Tomorrow,
dApps are decentralized applications, correct?
Yeah. Sorry, decentralized applications on Flare. Yes. Lending platform, borrowing platforms. Yes. Perps. And we're able to take that today, and we're able to lend it to a platform like a Kinetic and earn another 5%. Probably tomorrow or sometime within the next week or two, Firelight will be open and available for us to stake our XRP and earn some yield on that. And then we're able to take that staked version of the XRP and use it over on Flare into a product like a Kinetic and earn another 5% over there. And then we're able to do some other things as well. So I don't want to get too deep in that, but essentially our FXRP is a product that allows you to use it and earn yield on Flare Network. So I'll turn it over to Whale and let him take it from there as well.
Thank you, Steve. All right, so I'm sharing my screen, and then we can talk about it.
Oh, okay. So we want to go there. Okay. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to make it real big for everybody to be able to see, okay, while you're talking.
Perfect.
There we go.
All right. So this is the interface that we use. It's fassets at .au.cc. And here's your main dashboard for the fassets. So I'm going to mint, and then it takes 5 minutes to go through. So while we wait, I can explain everything else, if that's okay. So for this demo, I'm using Rabi wallet. This is a super easy wallet to set up. You download it on your extension, like as an extension on your browser.
What is it called? Well, I've never heard of it before.
Rabi wallet.
Rabi? R-A-B-I?
Here, let me show you.
Thank you.
This guy.
Oh, so, okay, Rabi. Okay, I got.
Yeah. My recommendation, and we can go into wallets in a second, but create a wallet, send a few a few Flare, test it out. I do not have all my value on my browser wallet. Like, no way. This is too risky. But whenever I need to do operations or demos, this is great because it's super fast and easy. All right. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to connect my wallet. And then it's already connected. As you see, I don't have to sign anything. I just say connect. And then the next thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to connect my Shaman wallet. You cannot see my Shaman because it's on my phone, obviously, but I'm pressing the blue button in the center, and then I'm going to scan it, slide to accept. I sign the transaction, and now I am connected on both the XRP ledger and the Flare network. Okay. So
can I pause you right there?
Yes,
so
please.
When you say you're connected to the Flare network and the XRP ledger, you're connected to the XRP ledger through the Zaman wallet, and you're connected to the Flare network through the Rabi wallet.
That is good. That is correct. Yes.
All right. Awesome.
So like I was saying before, XRP ledger is different than the Flare network. So the wallets are not necessarily compatible. If you want to have the same, like one wallet with everything, Bifrost wallet is a great option. This one you can have XRP and you can have Flare, and then this process is even easier.
Okay.
This is a new wallet for XRP, so you need to have, what is it, 2 XRP as a reserve, but it works the same as Shaman. This works really well. All right. So I'm gonna go to Mint, and while we wait, I can explain everything else.
Okay.
So you can see that I have 15 XRP in this wallet, and I have 1.19 or 1.9 Flare. So I'm going to press Mint. I'm going to do 1 lot. Each lot is 10 XRP. I'm going to be paying. Hold on, I need to send a few more.
So is that the minimum that you can do? Is 10 XRP?
That is correct.
Okay.
Let me.
And you can you only do it in lots then? Per
yes.
10 lots. Okay.
Yes. Let me send me a little bit more Flare.
This is awesome because I'm going to be able to watch this back and learn how to do it myself.
All right, you will see that this is going to change in a few seconds. All right, so Mint. We're going to do 1 lot. Next. And then the first thing, I'm going to sign here.
And this is
Confirm.
in the Rabby
This
wallet.
Rabby.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the next thing on my Shaman wallet. I actually haven't done it from Shaman, so we're going to figure it out together.
Fantastic. I love it.
So basically,
Dip a toe.
the first transaction, what is happening is that I'm reserving the collateral to Mint. And then on my Shaman wallet is asking me to sign a request. And I'm going to send 10.01 XRP. So the 0.01 XRP, that's the fee that you pay for minting.
Okay.
All right. I just signed on the XRP.
Is this similar? So like when you're saying minting, so like I know minting as I'm minting an NFT. So I am turning, I'm buying an NFT. So I'm putting my XRP then into that NFT, right? And so the value then is held in the NFT that I minted. So this
Correct.
is your XRP now, you're minting the FXRP. And so now you're holding the value of your XRP in the mint of the FXRP, correct?
Correct. So FXRP is a derivative from XRP. This is a completely different asset. So how this works, and this is when it comes back to the oracles, you send from your XRP wallet to the core vault. I can close this and come back. So this is the core vault. And if you go into the XRP ledger, you can actually find this wallet. So right now I send from my wallet to the core vault. The Flare data connector, which is one of the oracles that Flare has, verifies that I sent my XRP into the core vault. Once that verification happens, then that gives the green light for the agent to mint my FXRP. So remember that one of the problems that crypto is solving is the double spend. If I have 1 XRP on XRP ledger, I cannot have that XRP on Flare. And if I have it on Flare, I cannot have it on XRP ledger. So the core vault, it allows the mint or the redeem only when the whole consensus of Flare agrees that that transaction happened. Either the deposit, so you can mint, or the redeem, which burns the FXRP and then releases this core vault, the XRP, and then it gets sent back to you. Is that clear?
Yes. So I'm not clear on what the core bolt is. Like I've never heard of that before, but basically you're saying, so there is no double spending here. Once you take it off the XRP ledger, and then it's now represented on the Flare, and it is the value of the XRP is still there. And then if you want to go back, you never lose your XRP because you can just convert it back to the XRP ledger again. Correct?
Right. So one of the reasons that Flare started with XRP is because XRP, as you know, has the escrow functionality. So the core vault it's in a way a escrow, and that escrow has very limited functionality. Either it holds the XRP, it sends it back to the user when you redeem, or it sends to another wallet in an emergency situation. So nobody can just withdraw assets from the core vault. So it's a very secure system, and like I said, it's backed by the whole consensus of the Flare networks. So
it's a vault. Okay,
it's a vault. Yeah.
I get it. I get it.
It's using the escrow function of the XRP ledger.
Okay.
Right now we have 61 million, pretty much 61 million XRP on the Flare networks. This is insane. This is the most successful XRP product outside of XRP ledger. The current cap right now is 70 million. And the reason that there are caps is because Hugo said that at the beginning, we started with 5 million. And what he said is, if we have any problems, Flare Foundation can cover the cost of those 5 million XRP. Then they went to 10, then they went to 20, I think, 35, 50, and now 70. So even now, once they're live, they're still doing it in a conservative way where they can make sure that the system is working and that if something goes wrong, that they can be responsible for it.
I see.
Right?
So as it grows, so basically what I'm hearing you say is Flare Foundation, they've kind of, I don't know if I want to say collateral or whatever, but insurance, so to speak, of 70 million XRP in the event that something goes wrong with that 60.97 million. They can cover it so no one will lose their asset, right?
Correct.
Okay.
So I don't know. I haven't heard it officially, but I think this is the last cap. So whenever we reach the 70 million, there's not going to be a cap, and that means that there's unlimited minting and redeeming. I feel like now that we're getting close to this number, we might start seeing some bigger institutions come in and play. All right. So we have this. These are the agents that we have. This is the reserve on XRP. So the ratio is 100%. And then we can add, so we have 60 million. And then between Flare and stable coins, we have another 23 million as collateral. So as you can see, between this and this, there is over collateralization to make sure that the minting and the redeeming of XRP can be secure. Okay.
All right.
So if I go to my pools here.
Well, can I just speak on that real quickly for a second?
Please.
Yeah. So Melissa, the importance of what he just talked about with the over collateralization is very important, because the question is what happens? How do you ensure that my XRP doesn't run away? And the way that we ensure the XRP doesn't run away is through that collateralization that he just talked about, right? So if one of those agents decides, I got enough XRP, I think I'm going to retire, and decides to run away with their XRP, well, that agent had to already put money up in advance to be able to even touch that XRP. So if that agent runs away, Flare already has their collateral locked up anyway, right? And that collateral would then be provided to the XRP holder to go back and get your XRP. So in the event someone ran away with their XRP, they still have Flare, they still have stable coins, in some cases maybe even Ethereum, that equal the dollar for dollar value and then some, right? I think 2.5 times was the collateralization, so that the user would still either, if they didn't get their XRP back, they'll get the dollar value so they can then go swap and get XRP. Does that make sense?
I think it does make sense.
So nothing is 100% risk-free, but this is about as risk-free as you can get, because in order for an agent to even touch your XRP, they have to have enough money locked in a smart contract that gives them the ability to even mint that much. And if something happens, it's locked, it'll be released and back to the user when they want their XRP back. So if that XRP isn't there when you want to redeem it and get it back, you'll get stable coins in Flare. You can go swap it for your XRP.
I see.
Yeah, like if I want to run away with $100 of XRP, but it's going to cost me 120, then why would I do it? That's I don't know if that's exactly the ratio, but basically, like for me to run away with $100 of XRP, it would cost me 120. So I might as well not do it.
Right.
All right. So as you can see, my FXRP has been minted.
Finished.
And you can see that I have it here.
Yep.
If I go to my assets, I have my FXRP right now, right?
Yep.
And then I can redeem it. So I'm going to do one lot. Next.
Now redeeming, is this converting it right back to the XRP ledger?
Correct. So I'm
Okay.
burning that FXRP.
Yep.
And then that XRP from the core vault is going to be sent back to my wallet. Confirm. It takes a minute. And then you're going to see here I have 5.61. And you're going to see how this is going to move back to 10 or 15.59 or something like that.
So wow, yeah, this makes me feel more comfortable. It's always more comfortable when you see someone doing it in real time, right?
Process
all
is
right,
complete.
boom, there it is. I can see it went to 15.59. All right, so it's right back in there. No harm, no foul. It was there. Now,
you see how fast that happened? See how fast
very
that happened?
fast. Same with the Zaman. Yeah, when you do your thing, it's like, oh, it's right there. Yeah.
And then earlier, did you hear Whale say they were supposed to have his XRP back to him in 2 days, and it's been a week?
Yes, that was the MX RP, right? Isn't that the new thing right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So another thing that I want to, and this is extremely important, always navigate to DeFi protocols from the official sources. That means the Flare networks, the fassets.au, because there are scammers everywhere. And if you open the wrong kinetic or the wrong Spartex or whatever, you can lose your funds. So always make sure that you are navigating to the official, from the official links. What I recommend, go ahead.
I was going to say, can I ask a question of, so a newbie coming in, they're just starting to dip their toe into Flare. So if they look up Flare, will they be able to easily get to this website? Because fassets.au, .c, that is like, so someone needs to do Flare network. So they need to know.
Flare.network.
Okay.
And then you would go to fassets. And then this is the AU or the Oracle daemon. This is just the interface to mint is the same thing. So if I go here, we're back to the fassets page.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
yeah,
you can see my transactions, 10 to get in, and I paid 0.02 XRP to redeem. Okay. So once we are back here, I'm going to show you another way to get XRP. So I'm open. Spartex is one of the dexes that we have here. Launch app, swap, and then here, connect wallet, Rabi, connect. So I have 0.80 cents. I'm going to do max, swap, confirm. So now I have 0.33 XRP. So you were asking if the minimum is 10 XRP to mint. Yes. But like I said, you could bring in $10 and buy $3 of Flare, $3 of stable coins, and $3 of XRP, and then use those in different protocols to use it.
So someone could, without spending their existing XRP, they could just go into this Spark Dex, and they would have to have the what was
you
it?
Can do it with, you could do it with Flare. Like here, for example, I'm gonna buy, let's say 10. See, and I can buy 10 Flare. this is what, 10 cents right now? Confirm.
So WFLR is wrapped flare, right?
Correct.
Well, don't be
And now
shortchanging us. It's 15 cents.
Okay, sorry, yeah, 15 cents. But that's all I'm saying. Like right now, I'm transacting. I have more XRP right now. I have 0.39 XRP. And I didn't have to spend any of my existing XRP to test it out. And that is what I was saying before. Start with a small quantity that you feel comfortable making mistakes, because that is one thing with DeFi. At some point, you're going to make a mistake. Like that is inevitable. So the only thing that you can do is keep the size of your position in a way that if you make a mistake, you don't lose sleep. Because in my opinion, DeFi is to buy us more time, not to take our sleep away.
Right.
Like if you're losing sleep, it's because you're excited, not because you're nervous.
Right.
And size is important, no matter what whoever tells you that it's not. Size is the most important thing. Whatever you do it in a way that you feel comfortable and that you can make rational decisions. If you start sizing too big, you're going to start getting emotional and you're going to make mistakes. So like I showed you guys, this is less than $1 of XRP. Like if I wanted to go back to, I mean, I can buy Ethereum, I can buy Flare, I can convert to different stable coins. This is the staked Ethereum.
Can you come in? Can you come in with cash? I got with at this particular Spark Dex, or do you have to have that some other way? Is my question.
Yeah, you would. Well, even if you could, you still need Flare for gas. So the best way is to go from a centralized exchange, buy $10 of Flare, send it, and then keep, I don't know, $1 for gas, and then the other 9 use them in different ways.
All right. So the steps are to participate in this. You need Flare, so you need to buy that from an exchange somewhere.
Correct. So you need this kind of Flare.
Yes. Where would one buy that? Where would be the best place for them to buy Flare?
Most of the main exchanges except Binance support Flare. So you can do Uphold, you can do Bitrue, you can do Coinbase, Mexi. Like most of the main exchanges support Flare. It's not that hard.
Okay.
And then yeah. And then also here on Spartex Bridge, same thing, you connect your wallets. And I think that the first lot of FXRP gets sponsored by them. So this is another option. This is another option as well.
I don't know what it means, get sponsored by them. What does that mean?
Yeah. So like, let's say that you connect your wallets, your XRP wallet, your Flare wallet, and then you bring it. The first lot, the gas gets sponsored by Spartex. Your very first
I got
FXRP.
Okay. So it's like a little gift to get you started.
Correct.
Okay. Nice. Nice. I like it.
I mean, we could go on for hours, but
yeah.
Okay, so I think that another thing that we could cover in broad terms is where is the yield coming from? And this is, like Steve said, one of the things that I hear the most. FXRP as itself.
Do I need this still up? Do I still need the screen up?
Sure. Let me keep it up for a second. Yeah.
Okay.
So let me open this. So when you are on Spartex, I can show you this guy. So this is a liquidity pool that I have. This is the other DEX that we have, right? So here I'm setting up my liquidity between 215 and 250. This is the price of XRP against a stable coin. So where does this yield come from? I'm providing a service to people that want to exchange between XRP and stable coins within the Flare networks. So I'm providing my liquidity within that range, and that allows people to go in and out from XRP to stable coins without having to go to a centralized exchange. So centralized exchanges do the same thing, but they keep all the fees. This is a decentralized way where if I have liquidity and I want to deposit it into a liquidity pool, I'm providing a service and other people are paying me for accessing my liquidity. So in very broad terms, that's what you do in liquidity pools. Now, if you have borrowing and lending, here I can supply an asset and I can borrow an asset. So if you're supplying, you're providing a service where you're allowing other people to pay you for borrowing your assets. So if I had stable coins, instead of having it in the bank, I can deposit it here. And then if somebody wants to borrow that stable coin, they can pay you for doing that. And the way that they guarantee the payment is that they have to have more supply than borrow. It's a similar thing that what Steve was saying. So if that person is not paying back and the price goes down, then they get liquidated and then you get your money back. This guarantees that you get it back.
Well,
there are ways to do it. Go ahead.
Go down to the FXRP lending sections. Talk to that as well. Oh, yours doesn't. Yeah, talk to that piece right there.
Right.
The lending of FXRP. There you go.
Right. So the reason that this is an isolated market is because FXRP, as I said, is a new asset, and they have to guarantee that if for whatever reason FXRP goes down under, it doesn't take all the rest of the platform. So that's why they put it in a separated market. So as you can see,
is that because it's still kind of testing out?
It's like because it's new.
It's right. Because it's new. Yeah. So like once it's graduated and it's proven itself and it's comfortable and all of that, then it won't be in an isolated market anymore. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Because
perfect.
If I borrow, like if you lend stable coins or if you lend the XRP, you want to make sure that at any point you can withdraw it. So yes. Kinetic has to make sure that the math adds up. You can't have more people borrowing than there is to pay back. So that's why they do it like this. And as you can see, I pay 8.44% for borrowing stable coins against my FXRP. So I put $1,000 of FXRP and I borrow $500 of USDT.
Is that similar to like back in the day, like people were doing that with Nexo? And there were some other platforms that you could borrow. I think Celsius, you were able to do that as well, where you were putting up your Bitcoin, for example, and borrowing, USD from it. I don't know what happened there.
I stopped the sharing. Sorry.
It is. Whoops. Is it similar to that? To doing that?
Yes, it is. It's very similar. The hope is that we won't wake up one day and it's gone or they've gone under. But yes, conceptually, it is the same. It's a very similar thing to that.
But wasn't that a completely centralized service?
Absolutely. Yep. Both of them. Yep. Nexo, Celsius, of course. Yep. They were centralized. Yeah.
I think the problem is that they're like, I deposit my XRP, they deposit the liquidity, so I borrow, but then I cannot be sure that they're not using my XRP in an irresponsible way. Right. So here, this is locked in a smart contract, and as long as I have more collateral than I have debt, then I'm good. If my collateral goes below the threshold that I get liquidated, and then I lose my collateral. But Kinetic cannot grab my XRP and go and do things with that XRP. And I think that is the difference.
And Kinetic, now, so I'm not familiar with Kinetic. Are they related in some way to Flare, or is that a separate group of developers that created the Kinetic platform?
Yeah, it's a separate. This is a protocol that is built on top of Flare as a borrowing and lending platform. So This is a dApp. This is what Steve was talking about, dApps. Mm-hmm. So as you can see, there's 160 million lent, and there's 22 million borrow.
Well, so can you bring your screen back up again real quick?
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
So he was showing that that isolated lending market, Melissa.
Yeah.
the one thing I was gonna, can you scroll down if you get a chance, Will, back to that FXRP ISO? The one thing I was gonna point out, like at some point in time, we're gonna have Firelight, right? Which is where we'll get to stake our XRP, right? And then Firelight is going to, for staking our XRP, they're going to give us the receipt token, which is the ST XRP, right? The staked XRP version. We're probably going to be able to come right over here, and if we want to, supply that just like we're supplying FXRP right now, earning 3.76% interest. That 3.76% interest you see on the screen there, that is being paid out in the form of Flare rewards. So Flare has set aside 20% of the supply to bootstrap the network, and a portion of that they're using it with FSets. About 2 billion tokens, 2.2 billion tokens are being allocated to use with the FSet rollout. So some of these decentralized apps like Kinetic have gotten Flare rewards to use for certain pairs or certain liquidity pairs or cryptos that they want to incentivize people to bring to that protocol. And in this case, FXRP, if I take my XRP, I stake it, I mint it, I bring it over here to Kinetic, I'm earning now on Firelight for the staking yield, right? And I believe somewhere 4 to 5% is the anticipated number. I'm coming over here and I'm supplying it. Remember, I told you Flare is about and, not or. It's about and. Okay. So here's another example of the and. So I'm staking it on Firelight, earning 4 to 5% interest, right? And I'm going to come over here and I'm going to use it in this particular protocol, and I'm going to earn another 3.79% interest. No risk. There's no risk for me to supply my FXRP to Kinetic. So that's about 7 to 8% interest with really relatively no risk involved that I'm earning now with my XRP today versus what I was doing yesterday, which was nothing.
Wow.
Going well.
Well, and also, and like we often talk about XRP being able to borrow against your XRP, right? This is going to be that opportunity for in the future as XRP price appreciates. You very well may be able to, you need $20,000 for what the heck ever. And you pay yourself, but you're kind of paying yourself back with a minimal fee, right? You're paying yourself back. And as long as it doesn't, you don't come close to being liquidated, you will always have your XRP, right?
Absolutely. And well, can you pull up the Enosis CDP loans test environment real quick as well? Because that's exactly what you're just talking about right there, Melissa. So yeah, you can take your FXRP over to Kinetic, supply it, and you can borrow USDT. You can borrow some different crypto off of that. You can also come over to what Enosis is building. Enosis is building a collateralized debt stablecoin. So I can use my STXRP or my Flare. I can use that to come over here and I can lend it out again for some additional interest and mint some stable coins. And then I can turn around and take those stable coins and I can use those in this protocol and lend those out. So yes, you're going to have multiple ways to be able to collateralize your XRP. You have the very aggressive ways, risky ways, and then you got the very non-risky ways that you can do that. But in here, right here, here's a second and third option right here where you can provide your XRP, earn some yield on it as well.
DeFi.
Sorry.
DeFi is all about risk management, like understanding the risk that you're taking, and then having a plan. And I think that people demonize debt or leverage. And then I would like to first separate that it's not the same thing, this kind of leverage, than trading with leverage. That's a very different story. Because those people that do 100x perpetuals, that's a completely different story than this.
No.
And as long as you're not borrowing more than you have to pay back, leverage can move you forward. Like Steve does real estate. How can you get forward in real estate if you don't take some kind of leverage? Like leverage is healthy as long as you do it responsibly. So, for example, last year I wanted to buy a drone. Instead of selling my flare, I took a loan against it. I bought my flare or my drone, and then I've been paying it back slowly over the last year. With my DeFi activity, I pay back my loan. This year I needed to buy a new laptop. I didn't want to sell my XRP or my flare. I took another loan. I manage it. I manage my risk. And like we had the big liquidation last month, and I wasn't even close to getting liquidated.
Because you're using your own asset, you're borrowing from your own asset that you already have. In again, while there may be some fees involved in it, you're paying yourself back. You're paying
Correct.
yourself back. So we've got like 10, 15 minutes, and I hope that you guys can join us in the after space, because I'm sure there's a bunch of people in the chat that are just chomping at the bit to talk about this. And this is really for me personally, giving me that eureka moment. This resonates and reminds me a lot of what Simon, my co-host, talks about all the time. With borrowing from yourself, he does it with the insurance policies that you could buy and borrow against and that sort of thing. This is something similar to that. I wonder though, in terms of like regulations, in policies and procedures and things that you have to be careful about. How are these already good to go to where it's legal what they're doing and they're within the proper framework that is allowed for this, or is that still something that we're waiting for clarity on? Do you know?
I think Will stepped away from the computer, so I'll take that question. I'm not going to pretend to be a compliance expert, to be honest with you. So I don't know that I can really speak to what has been approved, what's acceptable, because every corner of the world we're in is going to be a little bit different, right? U.S. has its own regulation versus UK, those in Dubai. So unfortunately, I don't know the answer to that question. I really don't. I don't have.
I mean, that's the thing is we're beta testing all of this stuff. What I'm seeing and I'm hearing from you guys, I mean, this is an incredible opportunity because we are so early with all of this kind of stuff. And we know they're working on the regulations. We know that Flare, Ripple was supporting Flare through investing in Flare, right? They're building this out. Ripple is all about compliant in wanting to make sure that they're following all of the rules. So I wouldn't expect that they would be investing in anything that would be working against that. And so while I'm not sure that Flare Foundation could prevent someone from building on their network, like Kinetic, right? I mean, they've built on top of the Flare network, correct? They couldn't prevent them from doing that, right?
Right.
But it has to do with the people that have been in the space that have been beta testing and using it, and the people that have been putting their money where their mouth is, because you do see all the money that's in there. And so, I mean, that's where my mind kind of goes with this, is that it is super early for these types of things, but what an opportunity. And we in the XRP community always talk about don't sell your XRP, don't sell it, because it's a tool and it's going to be utilized for a lot of different things. And I mean, this is one way that you could put your XRP to work for you, or tap into it without having to sell it. That's the big thing, without having to sell it.
And we're starting to see why they told us all along, don't sell your XRP. We're starting to see that. I think initially it was because we thought the price was going to 589 overnight.
Yeah.
No, I've got that programmed into my calculator,
Right.
but I think we're starting to see that now, right? We're starting to see the utility of the XRP, and because it is such a stable asset, liquid asset, it has so many different use cases that we are going to see those be